Hey y'all, hi. It's time for another episode of New Makeup Hot Takes. I'm trying something new today. It's called wearing stripes. You might have heard of it. I've always felt I don't look good in stripes like this, but I'm just trying it. A little New Makeup Hot Takes experiment. This is the video in which I review what is currently like an overwhelming number of surreal and off-putting offerings in the beauty world. Just like what's new, only as curated by Trend Mood, which is like my one source, the Instagram account that posts about new beauty. It's just all I can take, okay? I can't talk about everything, but I talk about everything about which I feel like I have something to say. And as always, I'm looking for reasons not to buy things, ways of thinking critically about the advertising and launch information around new releases that helps us pop that bubble of intense desire to buy a thing right away. That's what we'll be doing today. If you are not subscribed, consider subscribing. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. New makeup, hot takes. New makeup, hot takes. This episode of New Makeup Hot Takes is sponsored by Factor, which completely saved me this week when the box arrived at the very moment that I was like, what are we gonna cook for dinner? Factor delivers fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals straight to your doorstep, making it easier than ever to meet your nutrition goals. Gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. And y'all, these meals provide so much stress relief and so much extra time for my family. All of the labor and infrastructure of getting food on the table, the meal planning, that has been a really hard one lately. We've slipped behind on meal planning and it's like everything starts to crumble. The meals are ready in just a couple of minutes and I know that the food is going to taste good, that all three of us are going to like eating it, and that it's going to make us feel good. Factor has options like Gourmet Plus, Keto, Calorie Smart, Vegan, and Veggie. And they also have add-ons to fit your lifestyle like snacks, protein shakes, those are my favorites, and juices. But the thing that matters most, the thing that makes it all work, is that the food tastes good. The meats reheat perfectly without getting dried out or overcooked, which is amazing. I don't know how they do that. You can head to factor75.com or use my link in the description box below and use my code 50HannahP for 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code 50HannahP at factor75.com for 50% off your first box plus free shipping. Thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring. In no particular order, NYX Smack Smooch Smushy Soft Matte Lip Balm. It's like a weird combination of adjectives. It's soft, it's balm, and it's matte. I feel like we see a lot of matte things, we see a lot of balmy things, and we see a lot of soft matte blur. Like we see a lot of soft matte lip blur. We see a lot of soft matte lip color. We see a lot of tinted balms. But I do feel like it's kind of a slightly new spin to combine this group of adjectives. What it made me think of when I saw this release was just like a randomizer. It feels like there are all of these beauty words like soft, matte, lip, blur, balm, tint, serum, and it feels like they just put some inputs into the randomizer and it spat out soft, matte, lip, and balm, and then they were like, okay, that's what we're gonna make. Like as soon as I saw the description of the product, I was like, we've really gone over the event horizon into lip product randomizer land. That said, I do love a lip balm. I do love something that looks like a greenish brown for the face, like for the lips. And the one in the upper right-hand corner looks that way. It looks like a really cool toned brown. So I'll keep an eye out for that maybe if I don't forget about this in 2 seconds after I finish talking about it right now. I don't traditionally like a soft matte lip blur. I don't like a soft matte lip cream. That's what we usually see, soft matte lip cream. So I'm worried that this is actually just that and then they just put the word balm in to intrigue us, but that it's really just yet another K-beauty inspired soft matte lip cream arrived to the drugstores in the US. Okay, this is weird. An eyeshadow palette from Lancôme. The Idôle Café Crush Maxi palette. So there's a lot, Maxi palette. There's a lot that's weird here. First of all, the word Maxi to describe what is simply a 12-pan eyeshadow palette that looks exactly like the Isamaya, the original Isamaya one. It looks like they used the same template for it or the same inner packaging. 12 eyeshadows, it's a Maxi palette. But it's not just that. Coffee-inspired makeup has had a moment. That moment is long past, Lancôme. I'm so sorry to tell you, but maybe you didn't notice because you were so busy getting really excited about releasing what is to you a gigantic eyeshadow palette. It's like Lancôme is the type of makeup that just has those little tiny quads, great mascara, expensive perfumes and random little things. Like it's little small things. Seeing a palette this size from Lancôme, it seemed like a big deal to me. Maybe they've made palettes like this before and I'm just unaware. But to me, it seems like they've crossed the Rubicon into the rest of the makeup world land, whereas before they were sort of on this rarefied island. However, most of all of the rest of us have been over here the whole time, creating, consuming, using, reviewing, and discussing Maxi eyeshadow palettes, bigger even than this one, literally for decades. And so it just seems like Lancôme was like, not only are we going to join the party, but it's going to be coffee themed, and also kind of missed the fact that coffee themed makeup had a moment, and that over here on the mainland, that moment is also long past. So it's just kind of like, yay, how exciting for you. That's kind of how I feel. Oh my gosh, I feel like that's the most condescending thing I've ever said on my channel. It's the most condescending tone I've ever used, but I'm just using it to address a faceless corporation. So I hope that they'll be okay with everyone. Okay, here's something that does intrigue me a little bit. This is an example of something that I'm discussing because I looked at it and I thought, aha, they're doing something designed to catch the eye of the likes of me. And also, I don't know how I missed this before. Maybe because I didn't like any of the colors that they initially launched with, but apparently Haus Labs has this product called Color Fuse Blush Balm. Once again, kind of like randomized makeup buzzword slurry. Color Fuse Blush Balm. Here's the thing that got me. Two things. One, the tagline, designed to flex between blush and bronzer. I'm really here for that right now, especially as I enter my bronzer era. But the other thing is one of the new shades is Glassy Ginger, and it looks like a really desaturated mauve, very desaturated, almost brown tinged mauve. There's also Glassy Cinnamon, which I could also see working for me. So I can see the other colors were all quite saturated and clear. I don't mean clear like see-through. I mean, the color tones were very clear, and these are much muddier and bronzier. Yeah, Glassy Cinnamon, which is beige peach, and Glassy Ginger, which is dusty pink. Spiced up neutrals for cheeks and lips. I'm not going to run out and buy one. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see these shades, and I'm intrigued by a thing that is designed to flex between blush and bronzer. What is this? Sneak peek, Hailey Bieber, not Hailey Beaver, Hannah. Not Hailey Bieber on this day. Hailey Bieber is giving us a tease of her next new product. It looks like, oh, I see an apple. Okay, when I first looked at this, I saw a blob of liquid and then a tiny, like a small bug or like a speck of liquid with something black in it. And I was like, is her new skincare like beetle themed? Does it have beetles in it? Like to me, this was so obscure. Now I see maybe it's the reflection of something in a computer, and I see there are other slides. Nope, can't tell anything from the other slides. Hailey Bieber giving us a tease of her next new product. You just can't tell anything from it. I mean, I guess you can see the bottle. What's in the bottle? I didn't have anything to say about this except for that it looked really weird. And now that I see that it's a reflection in the apple of like maybe a computer, a Mac, it's not as weird. It's just still very obscure. Okay, this is so beautiful and interesting. So Dominique Cosmetics is a brand that I associate with, 2016, 17 makeup era. Christian Dominique, I guess, was an influencer at that time. I never really followed, but I was aware when she launched her brand because everyone was talking about it. Everyone was really excited about it. Never tried anything from Dominique Cosmetics, but it seems like one of those influencer brands that launched at that time that has stayed kind of a small independent brand, but done well enough to keep going that people really like the products. And it hasn't just really been that much on my radar. So this feels kind of like a throwback to me because like, oh, Dominique Cosmetics releasing something new. These are lip liners and I love the colors. The like yellow, ochre, browns, like there's a greenish brown, there's sort of a pukey color, there's definitely a yellow. Like I really like the shade range of these for lip liners, the shapes, and then there's these little brushes on the end. That's perfect. To me, a lip liner with a little brush like that is ideal. So weirdly, out of left field, Dominique Cosmetics, which I would maybe never have thought of again in my life if I hadn't seen something like this, is coming through with a very, very appealing looking lip liner, and I've been really into lip liner lately. So it's funny that it stood out, and the photography is very like minimalist, grungy, lo-fi, low contrast, and that is the kind of product photography that intrigues me these days. And it's just like, oh, these are kind of my people, but I wouldn't have maybe thought to expect that from Dominique Cosmetics. I'm just curious, unless it's available now. What says coming now? Coming on May 2nd. Let's see. I was going to say I might have never thought of it again. Lip frame pencil. Well, the yellow's not as yellow as it looked. The color saturation, the photography is very, oh no, it is. Dulce de leche is quite an orange, quite a yellow orange. I'll say on the site, it looks maybe more like standard high glam makeup than I thought from the Trend Mood post. If I ever came across one of these in the wild, I would be interested in it, but you know, not interested enough to necessarily place an order. Stood out in the massive sea of new things. Another throwback, I just had to mention Fenty Body Lava. Look who's coming back. There are a lot of posts right now on Trend Mood that's like, look what's coming back. Look what's being re-released. Look what's coming back from the archives. Why is that? What's happening? Are brands just like trying to push recent nostalgia buttons? We're trying to throw back to the happier, very recent past? Or maybe brands just are low on resources? And I'm not trying to cast aspersions at Fenty. I'm just absolutely guessing here. Bringing something out of the archives or bringing like a pre-existing formula back doesn't cost as much, doesn't stress them out as much. I don't know. But when I saw this, I was like, oh my, those were the days. Because do you remember that summer when everybody was entirely in the grip of body luminizer? They can use all of the same imagery and swatch imagery and everything. So it's probably much lower overhead for them. Are people going to be into this summer? I don't know. Probably not me. All right, here is a classic example of me talking myself out of something that is otherwise quite attractive. A new Moondust eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay. I love the Moondust formula. Diamond Dog is the one that I'm currently just so crazy for. It's like the perfect eyeshadow to me right now. And when they release a little palette of 4 Moondust eyeshadows, it's always a real thrill. This one, however, is called Icy. Ice Out Moondust palette. It's not called Icy. It's called Ice Out, and it is icy. That is what saves me from it because it's got these like purple and blue undertones. All 4 of the shades, even though they're different from each other, are all sort of purpley and blue shifting, and those aren't my undertones. It's great that it wasn't like taupe themed or like brown beige themed. It's great that it's blue and that I'm like saved from myself. Pretty though. Givenchy bronzer. So I am in the market for a really great, very pale, neutral bronzer with a nice skin finish. And I've seen some of your recommendations in the comments already. Please keep them coming. I'm like continuing to shop around, trying to narrow it down. You know, it's like if I'm gonna just get one, if I'm just gonna get one of something, I like the idea of it being Givenchy. The Gucci one is on the short list. A lot of you mentioned that. The lightest shade of the Gucci bronzer totally could be the one. The lightest shade maybe could also be the one. It really looks neutral. It looks kind of grayish. I do like this powder. I like this formula. I've gotten along well with it in the past. Looks like it might be a little matte. It says ultralight texture, non-drying, natural, blurring. I just don't know. If you've tried this, is it kind of matte? It looks kind of matte actually in the pictures of the models. It looks like it might give me that overly made up porcelain doll look, and I don't want that. So maybe not. Glossier Lip Glaze Creamy Lip Oil. Once again, they went through the randomizer. The randomizer spat out creamy glaze oil, and they were like, okay. So it is a slightly different thing than we see most of the time. We don't often see a lip oil with like a creamy finish, right? A lip oil usually has a clear finish. So just like ever so slightly creamier than everything else that's exactly like this. I try not to read the comments on Trend Mood because it causes me to lose my will to produce content. Because it's just the worst of humanity most of the time. Like the first or second comment you scroll down and it's just bitter vitriol. Like people, I'm like, how can I speak into this world if this is how it is? If I read the comments. So when I'm sourcing imagery for these videos, I try to stay away. But I happened to catch sight of the first comment on this post and the person wrote, the way these are all just clear. And then when you scroll through and look at the way that they look on people's lips, clear, clear, clear across the board. It's so funny. It's like 18 pictures of lips in which every single lip just has a clear semi-shine on it and they all look the same. It's so funny. Okay, are you ready for this? The world's first 100% blush and bronze glow balm. That is pretty much the only reason that I'm talking about this. Naked Sundays, which I haven't heard from. I mean, I haven't heard of. It's not Sunday mornings and it's not summer Fridays. It's Naked Sundays. I think what they're trying to say is the world's first SPF 50 bronze and glow balms. What about Ciel? Maybe they're SPF 30. Yeah, so Ciel's Sculpt and Protect is SPF 30, but it's essentially the same thing. I love that the marketing for this is introducing the world's first 100% blush and bronze glow balm. Literally 1,000 blush and bronze glow balms are on the market. And then the next line down, it says SPF 50 mineral peptide sticks. It's the first 100% blush and bronze glow balms SPF 50 mineral peptide sticks, or so they say. That's just really cracked me up. It doesn't look not pretty. It doesn't look bad. The bronze looks looks really golden. The blush looks really pink. The models look really pretty. It's probably not going to be for me. Makeup Forever, everybody's just chomping at the bit. They've rebranded once again. The new packaging looks pretty, and now they're releasing these very delicious looking crayons. It's the art supplies lover in us that wants a thing like this. You see it and you're like, I want to get my grubby little finger on that crayon and make marks with it, especially in these browns. It's coming out in Wherever Walnut, Anywhere Caffeine. There's a shiny one. The imagery just makes me, it's like does something to my insides. It's making me want it. Here's my question. Are we using a thing like this though? I feel like the original was the NARS Multiple. Do you remember that stick? That was one of the first makeup products that I ever bought back in the day, and it was supposed to be a multi-use thing for cheeks, eyes, lips, etc., etc. And I only ever used it on my cheeks. And I feel like with products like this, you only ever use it in one place. I think that this one, I would maybe be tempted to mostly use it on my cheeks as well. When I had the NARS Multiple back in the day, I had like a shiny, shimmery peach. Maybe in a brown, I would be more likely to use it. Because I do want the same sort of dirty, pukey taupe. I do want that same color in all of my eyeshadow, blush, and lipstick. So if I could find the perfect one, maybe I would use it for everything. Is this timely? Are you all into a thing like this? Like one stick to rule them all over your face? I'd like to take the temperature. EADEM Softening Peptide Lip Balm in a new color. And I just had to shout them out because I have one of these. I have the Boba Bounce, I think, the brown one, and it's really great. It's really, really great. It arrived at a weird time. It was just not a good time. It was in between videos about makeup. I never actually ended up showcasing it, I don't think. And I'll try to remember to do that in the future. This is a really good product. I'm not going to buy another one in another color. I only need one, and I have a really nice one. They did a really good job with the product photography too. It's just lovely, really, really balanced. I'm running out of steam. This is what happens with new makeup hot takes these days. I go along until suddenly I can't, and I just hit that wall. So I don't know if I'm going to talk about the new shades of Benetint. They all just look so strawberry to me. That was the problem with the original Benetint, and it looks like they all have that problem. And I'm also not going to talk about the build your own ambient lighting edit customizable quad that Hourglass has launched. I looked at it and I was like, oh, no interest, because I just have no interest in these powders. But then I clicked through to the Hourglass website and built my own, and I was like, wow, the one I just built is way better than anything that they've ever released. It just made me realize that a face quad like this, like Hourglass has been releasing forever, such a bad deal, because you're always going to get at least one, if not two, if not three shades that you don't actually want. You just get sucked into buying it because it seems like a good deal to get four, but there's really only one that you use a lot, maybe two if you're lucky. Having the power to build my own, I was like, oh my goodness, why would I ever buy a face quad that I didn't get to design myself? And maybe that's just an Hourglass thing, but I think it probably applies in a lot of cases. So that's how that ended up leaving me feeling those are all the hot takes that are fit to print on the internet. I am going to go now. I hope that you feel flush with new powers of discernment or enhanced powers of discernment. I'm sure you already had some. I certainly do. I started out feeling overwhelmed and kind of compelled by all that's new to the makeup market. And right now, there's nothing I really feel like running out and buying. And the only thing that I even remember from the whole video that I just filmed, my friends, only thing that I remember whose career I want to follow with great interest is the Makeup Forever multi-stick. And I mostly am just curious about what you're going to say in the comments about that type of thing. That's it. Thank you so much for being here with me during this rundown of new makeup. I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed it. And I really hope you're taking extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.